So again, people come away, they get the gel, they squirt it on their hands, and they think they're safe. And they get the scoots. And I've had one guy in particular, Donald was his name, and I use him as an example. Last year, he was struggling on the early stages of the climb, and he came round so well, so strong, and he actually became the strongest guy on summit night to go to the summit. When he came out of his tent to go for breakfast, which is at 12 o'clock at night. He went and he took a dump or he went and done something in the toilet, came away and didn't wash his hands, came to breakfast, and within half an hour had the shits so
Wow.
bad that he couldn't go to the summit. His expedition was over. So it can hit you so quickly. So hygiene, hygiene, hygiene. You can't be if you're going to high five the guys, fist pump them. So fist pump the porters and guides. Tell the lads the same because the porters wouldn't have good hygiene practices. They'll go off behind a rock and go to the toilet. They'll go off and do their business like that. Their immune system's totally different to ours because they're used with this. So,
Yeah.
thanks for today, boom, as opposed to that,
Yeah.
and just kind of just it's all self-preservation. And I know it sounds a bit like, oh God, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
So hygiene, hygiene, hygiene. Um, Question, are you doing Diamox?
Oh, yeah, I got it. I've gotten the stuff. I just wanted to give myself the best chance. I thought it was kind of the right way to do it, but
Yeah, yeah. I look.
I
It's
don't know anything about it, to be honest,
okay.
Jason.
So
But
Diamox basically is a cheat for altitude. I won't go into the chemistry behind it. You don't need to know much about it. Basically, what I would do is the day before you leave Ireland, take one full tablet, and then every single day after that, take one full tablet at breakfast. Not half in the morning, half in the evening, because the half in the evening will make you piss like a racehorse all night long. Take one,
okay,
take one with your breakfast in the morning, and that's
yeah,
it. So
okay,
one the day before, and then one every single day after it. When the minute you get to the summit, Jonathan, stop taking them. You don't need
hmm,
them. You don't need them on the way back down.
okay,
I would and the other medicine I would definitely take with me is a headache tablet. Um, you're without doubt, there's 1 or 2 days you're going to have a bit of a headache. It's to do with dehydration, it's to do with fatigue, and it's also to do with altitude, just being at altitude. Um, if if you are struggling with sleep, or if anybody on this call struggles with sleep, you can take a sleeping tablet. It's not, there is loads of podcasts and literature online that says it doesn't work at altitude. A load of nonsense. I use them all the time. They do no harm. If you can't sleep and you need to sleep, I would rather have a sleeping tablet in my body and get a night's sleep than have none and feel miserable the whole way through the trip. So if you are somebody that struggles with sleep, get yourself a sleeping tablet. Um, a good way of dealing with a sleeping tablet the following morning is get yourself a good couple of strong coffees into your body, and it'll just kick you out of that kind of like that bit of a hazy head. Before you know it, you're fine again. So they're the only two medicines. Foot care. I'm a big fan of putting Compeed. Get them in the chemist. They're like if you go in and ask for Compeed, they're a heel plaster or toe plaster. They're a clear plaster. Women use them all the time in the back of their high heels, but they're deadly for abrasion or maybe you've picked up something. I don't know. Do you know them? Have you seen them before?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Well, there you
yeah.
are. Get a couple of Compeeds, throw them into your bag. You may not need them, but they're absolutely invaluable.
What
So
about the liner socks and that type of crack?
I don't do it. I mean, I just put on one pair of socks.
Okay,
And I'll be honest with you, Jonathan. There's not a single trip yet on Kilimanjaro that I haven't worn my hiking trainers to hike camp, and I've only put my boots on the last night,
okay,
and that's it. And the minute I come back from the summit to that camp, I put my trainers back on again, and I walk the whole way back out in the trainers,
yeah,
and that's it. And my socks are just regular socks that I wear to the gym. They're wore
okay,
in, they're washed, they're all good. But I would have a decent pair of socks, but not big heavy things that are going to sweat the bejesus out of your feet.
yeah, yeah,
Just a regular pair of socks.
yeah, okay.
So people overdo it, like all these. blogs and nonsense
Yeah, there's
horse.
a lot. There is a lot of information out there, and sure, everyone has their
Ah,
opinion, you know.
yeah, everybody's their opinion, and there's so much mixed messages out there. Um, as I said, the only thing that's the most important thing is a decent jacket, that warm jacket, because you'll put it on you every single night, even from first night, because it gets chilly when the sun goes down. You'll go
Mm.
looking for the jacket, you'll put it on you. A decent sleeping bag. If you need to hire sleeping bags, we hire them out there for $50, 50 US dollars for the week. If you don't want to take a sleeping bag with you, we have relatively good. I wouldn't say they're the best. They're African, but some of the guys complain that they're a little bit cold. But if you've got a decent bag yourself, take it with you. But if
Yeah.
I wouldn't stress about it.
Okay.
We provide the mattresses out there as well, so you don't need to bring an inflatable mattress with you, Jonathan. We provide beautiful mattresses in the tents each night. Um, One thing I've done, just these are small tips. One thing I've done is one thing that can give you an uncomfortable sleep as a pillow. What I tend to do is I tend to stuff all my clothes into a a pillow like a pillowcase that zips. And I just during the day, then I just take all my clothes out, put them on me, and then I take my wee pillowcase and fold it up and put it into my big bag, and it goes on to the next camp. I
Hmm.
generally find if you're trying to tuck under your head, like your jacket or your trousers or your, but and it moves all over the place, and you tend to, you're not getting a decent sleep at all. Whereas if you can push everything into something that zips up like a square pillow,
Would you bring one of them blow up pillow jobs? No.
yeah, they're okay, but they tend to, they tend to feel like a blow up pillow, if that makes
Okay. Yeah.
sense. I'm a big fan of like a cushion, a cushion with a zip on it, but take the inside of the cushion out,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then stuff everything into it when you get out there, and zip up the thing and put it under your head, and you get a cracking night's sleep. And then
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fold it up and get put it into your big bag, and the porter carries it up.
Okay.
Um, I'm a big fan of sticks, hiking sticks. Definitely, they do assist people with not with dodgy knees, but with that your knees will attack you because you're climbing and you're descending and you're going all over the place. So they do help a lot. They say it takes a third of the pressure away from your knees by using sticks. I kind of avoided them for years. I use them now religiously, and I find them, really good. And everybody tends to enjoy them, especially coming off the summit because you're pretty tired on the way down, and they do help kind of balance you on the way back down.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much covered. What else can go wrong? Hygiene is the one that lets people down. Sleep is the one that lets people down, and not eating is the one that lets people down. Any of the three of those start to happen badly. You're a bit of a ticking time bomb.
Yeah. So it's pacing yourself and just keeping the fundamentals
Just keeping
top of mind. That's it.
just keeping the basics right,
Yeah. Yeah.
keeping everything cushy. Just keep everything under control. Don't do anything stupid. Enjoy your experience. No need to rush. We have all day to get to camp. Some people fucking take off like dogs out of a trap, and they arrive there 3 hours before everybody else, and they end up getting sick. And then they've got the most miserable night, and then they don't want to go down again because they're afraid of their summit is over, and then they just sweat it out. And our job's a hell of a lot harder because now we've got somebody that's 50% should be there, 50% should start to go down.
Yeah.
So the slower you are, the better it is. Same on summit night. It's one foot in front of the other. Try to walk in small steps, not big steps. I always use a phrase called toe to heel. So as you walk, drop your heel right in front of your toe. Drop your heel right in front of your toe like that. Small steps get you there so much more efficiently than big steps that'll empty your tank in a heartbeat like that.
Yeah.
That's it. When you get back, you'll have a druth on you like you've never had a beer before. Um,
I was just going to think there. One of the lads suggested maybe bringing a hip flask. Is there any pros or cons or problems with that? It's not You're
no,
not going on the session like, but it's
no, nothing at all. No, no. We've had loads of people take in a bottle of vodka, or sorry, a bottle of whiskey with them,
yeah,
and just every night they have a couple of sips of whiskey when they're sitting around having a chat. No,
yeah, yeah.
no issue with that at all.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
not a big deal. If you were getting pie every night, it'd be a different kettle of fish. But you're only just kind of toasting the day
That's
and
it.
enjoying have the cards with you, play a couple of rounds of 25, have a wee jar when you're doing that. No big deal. You're washing
Yeah.
it with some water. My guys will have no issue with that at all.
Okay.
Um, so that's kind of it. Tipping, I think the tipping's in your information pack. I just can't remember what the tipping is, top of my head.
Yeah, it's $200. Was there a thing recently going around there about the dollar thing? Is that an issue now, or is that just
No, not an issue. I mean, to be honest with you, $200, €200, it's irrelevant.
okay?
Um, um, if you don't have dollars, just take €200. The boys
Okay.
will, the boys will change it out there. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Um, I've had people come and handing them $200. I've had people come and hand them €200.
Mm,
No big deal. No
okay.
big deal. No big deal. No stress. No stress. The boys are just glad to get it. I mean, it's life changing. It's a difference between them eating and not eating. It's the difference between
Mm,
them surviving and not surviving. Like that's how challenging this is. Like, you know, they're not out every single weekend working.
mm,
It's tough out here. It's tough, Jonathan. It's a tough,
mm.
tough place to live, survive, and work. Like we built a school out there. A lot of the proceeds from our expeditions go into the four teachers. We have 140 odd kids in school out there. We just finished the school. We've been building it for 4 years. We're very
Wow.
we're very proud to have opened our own school in Morongo. You may get to see it. Depends where Benson's going to take you. But quite a large portion of our profits go into the school, and also we have a guide program as well. One of the guides that's going to be working with you is just after come is either just about to finish or finished. What happens is we take two porters per year and we put them into guide school at a cost of $1,000 per year. So they come out qualified as a guide for Kilimanjaro, and then they work for us only for 1 year. We don't put any restrictions in place. The reason we ask them to work for us for 1 year is because when they come out of guide school, they're not the rounded product. They don't have the social skills. So we teach them those other factors that the college doesn't teach them, and then thereafter they're well able to work for any company they wish. We don't put any restraints in place. We've found for the last 3 years that this has been a massive breakthrough, and the reason being is because a bit like the Irish 100 years ago, they look after. We would have looked after our community. We would have looked after our family and our village, our people in our vicinity financially. They still do. So when a guide comes home with quite a few pound more than most people, they tend
They
to
distribute it.
they tend to distribute it and help others less fortunate. So
Uh,
a lot of this good work it's brilliant. I'm very proud. I'm very proud to find ourselves in this position to help people. So our trips are more than just climbing,
yeah,
Jonathan.
yeah.
You'll see this when you go there. You'll know when you talk to my guys. You're not just a customer or a tourist. You're not just fodder for money. You'll see the way they treat you and the way they look at you and the way they respect you, and the service they deliver. And please God, that's reflected in the tip then at the end.
Hmm.
So I don't have much more to share with you.
And will are you going to be there or not there, or
No,
what
I'm
way does
not
that
on.
work?
I'm not on. I'm
Okay.
not on this trip. No, no. Benson's running the trip. So you don't.
Okay.
Yes, I'd love to be there, but I'm going to be in Marrakesh. I'm doing Tobacco,
Okay.
the Morocco Seven Summits. But look, I'll be online every single day. I'll be talking to Benson every
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
day. I'll be communicating with you. Um, Coverage on the mountain. Yeah, look, I mean, it's probably what I have found is the air sim is better than buying a sim out there.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we use what am I using at the minute? We're using Airlo. I'm using Airlo. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
So Airlo, and I basically go in, it only charges, it's got my Visa card in it. It only charges me. So I go in, pick Nepal. or pick Kilimanjaro or pick wherever I'm climbing, and it just loads into my phone. It replaces the SIM that's in. It doesn't do anything. The two SIMs can work side by side, and it's brilliant. So Airlo, Airleo or LO, check that out before you leave, maybe this week. And you will find that you get pockets of good reception, and it's nice to get a photograph out, send it back to the family, or if you're
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
social media, you can do that. Or some people just tend to just take loads of videos, loads of photographs. Don't worry about posting anything to anybody. When they come back to the hotel, they've got all the time in the world or on the flight on the way home to start putting out a bit of stuff so they can
Yeah,
actually enjoy the trip and not be too worried about social media and all that
yeah,
nonsense.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna bring just one pack, to be honest, one battery pack, and just charge maybe twice. That'll be the height for it. I'm not gonna be flat to the mat on the phone, I don't think.
I would put mine on airplane mode and I would record and video away stuff, and it'll last nearly the whole trip. But
Yeah,
if you put that data on, it'll just start absolutely emptying your battery. So
yeah, yeah,
airplane mode will nearly take you the whole 7 days. And if you have a battery pack there to plug it in to charge up for the last couple of days, voila. And then when you come down, when you hook back into the Wi-Fi in the hotel, you've got everything. And
yeah,
just tell the missus and the family, look. At the end of the day, I'll be in touch with Benson every day. So if I have your contact details and all the guys' contact details
yeah,
or
yeah,
next of kin, if I need to talk to anybody, pass any information on, I'll be doing all that behind the scenes. So you don't
yeah,
have to be stressed about talking to Mary, Bridget, John, Patrick, or whoever. You don't have to worry about that nonsense.
yeah.
So
Perfect.
that's kind of the jigsaw puzzle built, and there's loads of little things in there that I haven't talked about that I don't need to talk about because that's the magic of the trip. Is there
Hmm.
anything you have, any questions, anything that's kind of glaring that I haven't?
No, I think you've covered a lot for me there. And one thing that I've gotten out of it is I might actually bring hiking runners with me as well, for the lower parts, because the boots are kind of, what do they call them? BC, so they're quite sturdy, but they're great. But it might be more beneficial on the last couple of days rather than at the early stages, probably.
Well, I can tell you now, if it was me and I was in your shoes, I would be taking my hiking runners with me, and I would be starting the trail with my hiking runners, and I would be keeping them on me as long as I can until I need to put on the boots, and I would only put the boots on the final day. And you'll be glad to see the hiking runners when you come off the summit and you get back to
Yeah,
that camp. You'll be saying, "Jesus, I'm glad I have them hiking runners in my bag."
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Because I've done some long hikes in the boots, and they're fine. They're all broken in and that, but they do take the toll on the feet.
Of course
In
they do.
terms of they're just harder to get through,
Course, you'll definitely feel it. You'll feel the climb on a day in the boots more so than you will in the trail runners.
Yeah,
And again, as I said, like don't be afraid to go slightly cold out of camp every day because you're going
yeah,
to you're going to heat up. I just see people just panic and they take too much clothes with them leaving camp and they end up carrying it for the whole bloody day.
yeah, and it's pointless.
No, pointless. So again, have you got a decent jacket for the summit night, Jonathan?
The only thing that I've left to get is the down jacket at the moment.
Okay.
And it's a bit of a minefield because when you start getting into it, it's like fill proof and down versus
Okay.
synthetic. It's a little bit of a minefield. So a bit
Well, I'll
of
tell you what I'll do. I'll shoot into the group a couple of suggestions that I would go with that'll
yeah,
cover, say, like Kilimanjaro. If you ever wanted to go again and do something else, it'll cover the likes of Island Peak and Murray Peak. So you'll get two or three type of expeditions out of the same type of jacket.
okay.
Um, so I'll drop that in. I've also got you don't have to buy it in the Grey Outdoors. I'm not promoting them at all, but I've got a discount code there for 15%. So you're more than happy to welcome to avail of that as well. So
At this stage, then, like, there kind of being a week left, that would be obviously a factor consideration in terms of delivery times and that type of thing.
the boys will get it out to you next day. So
Well, yeah,
I'll see if I can shoot one in tonight or tomorrow morning.
yeah.
Um, and you just ring the boys, tell them that you're going to Kilimanjaro with me.
Hmm.
Tell the boys in the store that look, guys, I'm going to Kilimanjaro with Jason. They know who I am. I'm one of their ambassadors. And I'm heading off on say Thursday. And can they get it to you? And that'll be next day delivery.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
and
perfect.
tell me that what you've done so that I can ring and say, look, guys, get that jacket out to the boys, or
Yeah,
get that away quick, you know. But
okay,
yeah, look, I'll look and see what's available. I'll shoot in a few examples of the right one to wear, because the difference between a good one and a bad one is 150 quid. But the difference on the mountain is fucking chalk and cheese.
yeah. Yeah, no, you want to have the right one. That'd be great if you could send that on. That'd be brilliant. I look into that, and then so just in terms of the pants, right? So I wear a light, really light, and I love wearing them. Stretchy regatta kind of a walking pants. They're perfect. But I also have another pair that are kind of a little bit lined. They're heavier, kind of a version. Would you just not bring them? Like I want to be as light and efficient as I can. I don't want to overkill. I do run hot as well, so like I'm taking stuff off more than I'm putting it on generally.
Well, it would be unfair of me to tell you to leave it behind you. I'd rather you look at it than look for it.
Yeah.
I would be highly surprised because you sound very like me. I would be highly surprised if you put them on at all. But
Okay.
that being said, they may be a good camp trouser.
Right.
Because if you've been in your trekking trousers all day long and you come into your tent when when you arrive into camp, you want to pull off I always have a fresh pair of jocks. Like I have the same base camp jocks all the time and camp trousers all the time. So I would take off what I've been wearing during the day and I would put
Yeah.
on a fresh, and that's just my camp gear. And that
Yeah.
camp gear doesn't be wore on the mountain. It just be
Yeah.
wore in camp. And I just have it. And I'd have a pair of socks, a pair of fresh jocks, the same pair of jocks because they're not going to get dirty. I would have those type of trousers you're talking about. I'd have a fresh t-shirt, fleece, and my big jacket, my woolly hat. And that's kind of what I'm sitting in the tent with at night having my dinner. And I would have that religiously every single day for that camp or for camp alone. And then every day I would be putting on the same mountain gear that I wore the day before. And that's the two sets of kit that I rotate. End of. That's how you
Okay.
do it. So by doing that, what this does, Jonathan, it means that you've got an SOS pair of trousers. So
Hmm.
if the worst came to the worst, or if you got to high camp and Benson says the winds are going to be high tomorrow, guys, there's potential to be colder than normal. At least you've got the heavy pants.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have a good kind of Patagonia rain jacket that I
Yeah.
got, wind cheater rain jacket, really good one. And
Yeah.
would I be better off just bringing that and a pair of hard shell kind of waterproofs, or would you, or and then leave the poncho behind, or what would you suggest there?
I look, you know what? Look. I'm always a. It's just the way I'm built. I'm a trouser and jacket person. The chances of you putting waterproof trousers on is zero. But
Okay.
but again, I can't as a guide say don't take them. It would be
Yeah,
just
yeah.
practice. The chances of them coming out of your big bag, they're not going to come out. But
Okay.
your rain jacket's always going to be in your backpack.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, the
So
poncho.
not I don't need to get a new bag to have a rain cover over it or any of that kind of stuff. The one that I have there at the moment, it'll be grand.
I tell you what I would do, and I say it all the time: put a black bag inside it, and put all your
Yeah,
clothes inside the black bag, and roll up the
yeah.
black bag, and that's the way to do it. That's what I
Happy
do
days.
all the
Yeah,
time. And
yeah. That's what I do. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of going out and buying all this expensive stuff. I use what
Actually, you could be buying till the cows come home.
it's endless, and it's nonsense. I always say, look into your wardrobe, look at your gear, and it'll be fine. Just
Yeah,
you have to come up. You don't have. It's not a fashion show. Nobody gives a fuck what you're wearing up there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Nobody cares. It's just, does it practical? Does it work? If it
Yeah,
works, is your socks fine? Yeah. Do you wear them to the gym? Yeah. Well, then wear your socks that you wear to the gym. You don't have
yeah,
to turn up in a pair of hiking socks
yeah,
just because somebody tells you have to wear a pair of hiking socks. If you wear these couple of like ankle kind of type black uh, socks to the gym and they're wore in and they're washed through, but they're comfortable, then that's the pair to wear.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just keep it real the whole time. Just keep it
Keep it good
real.
and simple. Yeah, yeah,
Simple, like, and just keep it like at the end of the day, it's a high altitude hike. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a hard fucking high altitude hike, but it's a high altitude hike. That's it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know. I'm going to be
Yeah.
online for the next week. I'm going to be online for the whole time you're there. But I'm home now at the minute, and I'm going to be available all week. Answer questions. There is no stupid question, guys. And the same to you, Jonathan. If you're sitting there thinking, God, will I bring six pairs of socks or will I bring four? I fucking shoot Jason a message because he'll tell
Yeah.
me in 2 seconds. Take the guesswork out of it. I mean, I've been up
Yeah.
there over 100 times, so. I mean, I know it like the back of my hand. So,
Perfect.
and I appreciate you have never been there before, and there's an anxiety around, will I, won't I, should I, could I, do I need this, do I need that? Ask the questions. That's what you're paying me for.
Yeah.
I'll answer them for you, and I'll take all the bullshit out of it.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
Great stuff. Okay, we'll leave it there. If there's anything comes to mind, shoot it into the group. I'll put up a couple of jackets, if not tonight, tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and crack on with that, and then and we'll take it from there.
Happy days. It's
So
been
the
good.
only thing you have to take into consideration is bank holiday on Monday, so you're losing a day on Monday. So
Mm-hmm.
ideally, what I'd like is to get the order in for a jacket tomorrow,
Okay.
so that it'll arrive on Tuesday/Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And a jacket, if you think about it, it's a jacket with a fleece and a base layer below it. So it's not
Yeah.
like it's on top of a t-shirt. So I'm not saying buy it 3 times bigger, but they do tend to come a little bit more generous. But if you're a large, stay large. If you're an XL, be XL. But
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
All
Perfect.
right. Pleasure meeting you. Let's stay in touch. Ring me anytime. Send me a message anytime. And we're in the final stages now of the preparation. We're not there yet. Until such time as we arrive, I'll be with you the whole way.
Perfect. And just one last thing,
Yep.
Jason, what would you recommend at this stage in terms of should I be going out this weekend doing a good hike again, or should I be kind of resting? What do you think
Oh,
is
yeah.
the
Yeah. No, no. Keep going. Keep tipping away.
yeah, keep tipping.
Yeah, keep tipping away. Go out, keep out,
Perfect.
keep enjoying it. At this stage now, you're not going to get any fitter. So get out,
Yeah.
just get out and enjoy yourself. Just get out and have a bit of fun. Just get out and blow off a bit of steam, clear the head. Look forward to the climb. Visualize that summit. Visualize what it's going to feel like. Take the kids with you. Go for coffee. Just enjoy nature.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not going to get fitter, Jonathan, at this stage. Whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
wherever your physical conditioning is at now, that's where it's at. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
stop me from going out and doing 15, 20K on Saturday if I wanted
Okay.
to. I just got and do it.
Yeah.
Don't get injured.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's the
Don't
key.
roll in
Yeah.
that ankle or twist that knee and be ringing me
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Tuesday morning saying, "Oh, I'm in trouble."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's it.
Perfect.
Pleasure meeting you, and
You too.
we'll keep tipping away over the next few days, and we'll cross the i's, dot the t's before we head off, and then you can get stuck in and enjoy it.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it. Big time.
Good man. Well done. That's the attitude.
Excellent.
Good stuff. All right.
Thanks,
Good talk
Jason.
to you. God bless.
Thanks, William.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye.